Francesca, and my roles are editor, casting director, and photographer.
My name is Elizabeth, and my main production roles are mise-en-scène director, set designer, and the shot list designer.
I'm Mia, and my main roles are cinematographer, lighting director, and director. And together we are
Gem Productions!
Yeah! Our aim is to create a memorable and original music video for the new artist Andrea Storm Caden. Her debut single is called Ink Settles In, and we're going to play the beginning of it for you now to get a flavour of it.
Any second now.
So sorry if I spoke a bit quickly, but she should be ready in a proud moment.
1, 2, 3, 4. Underneath my skin, as the ink settles in, never to forget. Is the pain worth it? As it hits the scabs, the quick it bleeds all over again. Until one day, when in time we get another one. Memories forever captured somewhere else but in my mind. Unforgettable, unlike the fading light. Unlike the fading light.
So we think the song is about breakup and heartbreak, but we do not want to show this in a conventional way. Instead, in using the lyrics as the ink settles in, we are going to create a amplification video category. We're going to do this by having a number of montage shots that represent the lyrics by using lots of different paint, which is similar to ink. We shall have lots of love items, as shown, and the actress, and we'll be slowly covered them in paint. As for the performance, we are going to have it in a date-like setting. As the song goes on, she becomes more angry, so we will have the actress to begin messing up the set and having paint thrown at her. The ink is settling in.
This is a beautiful member of our typical target audience. Because the singer is a young female, it makes sense that it would appeal to young women. So we're going to make sure we use conventions that would appeal to them. And also, not just them, but anyone who's experienced heartbreak or been through whatever the singer has, they're going to immediately relate to what she's singing about. So we're going to try and make it realistic, but original as well, to make sure that it appeals to them.
So the image that we've decided for our actress, which is going to be Beth, or Elizabeth, is a typical teenage girl. This is what we think it is anyway. We've decided to have the hairstyle as a messy bun. This is because when you go through heartbreak and breakups, you can't be bothered, so you're just going to put your hair up in a bun because you don't want to go out with your hair down, straighten it, curl it, and whatnot. We've decided that we want her to have a white dress just purely because it shows purity and how she's innocent in all this, and also where it will show the paint easier and you'll be able to see it to the camera. The actress will also be wearing Converses because that's fashionable at the minute, and they're going to be like dirty like these. I think these are the Converses, aren't they? Yeah. And these are actually going to be the Converses that are in the photo shoot and the music video, because they show that it's worn and she's been many places and she's experienced in what she's been, and this is her journey onwards.
So, digipacks. We've got some sort of rough drawings of digipacks which you can pass around now to see. I mean, they're really rough, but we just thought you'd get a good idea of what sort of thing we're going for. We've looked at digipacks of other indie pop artists, which is the genre that ours is. And so we've tried to take conventions that might work, so like the layout of the track names on the back, the consistent style of the album on all the different sides, and also normally the main single or track, like Ink Settling In, we're going to have that theme for the whole cover, so all the paint's going to be on that because that's the main song.
For our magazine advert, we've decided to use lots and lots of colour like this. This is purely because we want to attract the audience's eye so they think, I know what that is. We're also going to do it so that it represents the music video as well, so we have an element of catching the audience eyes and then relating back to the music video. We also want it to be to have the title of the album on it, which is Ink Settling In. And we also want quotes and ratings of what actually the audience and different companies like newspapers, producers thought of it, which is all of these that we've got on. And they're going to be bright and bold so everyone can see it.
Plans for the future for our artist. Well, we really believe that she could go global. She's already successful in Australia, that's where she's from, and I think teenage girls all around the world are going to relate to her because ultimately everybody experiences heartbreak at some point in their life. Through social media, she can build a really good reputation for herself and get an even bigger audience. As there is always heartbreak in the world, there will always be a target audience for Andrea. Thank you very much for listening.
Very good, thank you. Okay, question time. Right, well done guys, thank you. Right, anyone else have any questions or any thoughts or any views? It's time for questions, feedback, comments, observations, etc, etc.
How would you, I've got one question, how would you guys use synergy within what for your artists?
Do you want to take that, Mia?
Oh, that's clever that, isn't it? Bat it over the other
That was a bit rude of
side.
my colleague, but I suppose synergy. I guess that could be like within the digipacks and like the different advertising we'll use, and in the digipack we'll have maybe like posters or something like that. So that would, I suppose,
Yeah, something
that's
that would
synergy.
really draw them in.
Yes,
Maybe
like something
an
that
extra
really draws-
bonus.
Yeah.
Have a think as well. I think, you know, with synergy, right, to lead on from Ryan's question, synergy is about adding a brand image across all three of your products. So how will you do that?
I think
No, I'm sorry. Basically, how we thought of it was having our logo as the branding and the logo. So, like, when you see that, you automatically think, that's on the album. Or when you see the
Yeah.
album, you think of
Yeah.
Gem Productions.
Yeah.
So that's how we're going to tie in the logos with it.
And looking at this, you've got the kind of the paint thing running across the whole lot, haven't you? So that will provide you visual
Yeah.
brand
Yes.
identity.
It would almost be like a sort of concept album because
Yeah.
it's all about paint, or we
Yeah.
could come up with other track names for her that would link in with that,
Yeah.
with her debut single.
That would work really well. Are you lot sponsored by Ariel or something? Because, you know, we had blood on the dress in year 12, and now, you know, I'm wondering if there's some sort of tie-in.
we like getting messy.
Yeah. Any other questions from people? I'm going to pop some in, but I want you guys to ask. Can you just go right, because I'm writing at the same time, it's a bit hard this, but just talk us through how you're using performance and narrative in your video.
Okay, so I'll
Are you using amplification, aren't
yeah,
you?
amplification.
Yeah.
So there's not a set narrative because
Right.
I really think that there's been so many music videos where boy meets girl, they break
Yeah.
up and it's all very sad.
Yeah.
So we kind of want to do that a little bit differently. So we're playing with the lyrics as the ink settles in and
Great.
basing a whole music video around it.
Yeah.
So we have like love items, for example, a teddy bear that says I love you, and we're
Yeah.
going to slowly drip paint onto it because it's like the ink settling in that the relationship is over.
Yeah.
And then as for the performance, she's going to be in a date-like setting, very romantic. But obviously she's not there because she's happy. She's there because it reminds her of all the bad things
Yeah.
that's happened to her.
Yeah.
So as the song goes on, which we couldn't play you all of it because
That's
that would
fine.
probably bore you, she gets more angry. So we feel that once she gets to a certain stage of anger, she should start wrecking the set because it's just like her relationship's over, she's heartbroken. And again, we're going to show this by throwing paint at her.
Yeah.
The ink is really settling in that her relationship is over.
And also, we're not going to show the boyfriend walks in, and
Yes.
you're not going to see that. We're doing pictures of them, but you won't see him actually acting in it, which
Yeah.
is very unlikely for any other regular videos.
What about practicalities then? Whereabouts are you going to film the different sequences? And
We are filming it in my garage
Yeah.
because I've cleared my garage. My parents don't mind. We don't really use it for anything else,
Yeah.
so they're fine with if it gets covered in paint and whatnot. That is one thing that what we plan to do is film the whole thing, and then we're gonna have it in like a studio as such.
If you've got a big white,
yeah, we've got a big white photographer's wall. But then if it
Brilliant.
doesn't look right, or if it maybe gets boring after a while, then
Yeah.
we'll go back to the drawing board and
Yeah.
think about doing something else to add with
Yeah.
it.
Are you going to sort of dress that set as well to look like the restaurant for the day?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to have to think quite carefully how you shoot that, aren't you? Because Your garage probably isn't a Michelin-starred restaurant at the moment, is it?
No.
So
Well,
how are you going to do that?
Well, I think it's not meant to look like a restaurant as
No.
such. It's just meant to look like this is somewhere where a couple could go.
Yeah.
So well, using the photographer's backdrop, we'll probably we found some love heart strings of love hearts that you can get. So we'll probably
Good.
put that round the back.
Yeah.
Also, like in pop videos, a lot of them, there's lots of different sort of locations, but they're all in a studio, and like
Yeah.
it's just implied that it's a restaurant, even if it's just like a plain white
Yeah.
wall. We'll have the table. And we bought some candlestick holders, like to make it look all romantic.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
wine glasses,
Yeah.
rose petals.
I think what you just said, Mia, is important. The idea about implication,
Yeah.
isn't it? So you can keep that sort of quite plain backdrop and just dress the set with some quite interesting sort of items that will
Yeah,
create
that's
that
what we
want to
atmosphere,
do, yeah.
and
Like-
that will allow you to control it. And it keeps it quite simple, but
Yeah.
very
It's
manageable.
It's just giving them the idea.
But the idea is there. What have you thought about lighting as well? How you
Yes,
gonna?
I'm very fortunate. I happen to know someone who was an ex-photographer. So if all goes well, we should be able to get proper studio
Super.
lighting for
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
by the weekend, actually. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, good. Any other questions? Go on, Callum. Yeah.
Have you like prepared for if the paint doesn't go the right kind of effect you want? Like,
Yeah, I mean, this
Or-
is the other thing that we have to consider is with using paint, there will be certain things that we can only film once.
Yeah.
And we have accepted that, and we're going to be extremely careful with our planning and know everything to a T before we even
Yeah.
consider starting to throw the paint.
But as well, luckily, the white wall thing Beth bought is really big, so we can use more bits of it. Like
Yes,
if we get
we can
painted
cut it
down.
down,
So
yeah.
the props we bought are from charity shops.
Yeah.
So we've not spent a lot of money. We're trying to keep it down.
Yeah.
And we can always get more.
And like, we're going to buy 2 dresses so that if we completely ruin one on the first
Yeah.
day, we always have the option to refilm
Yeah.
it.
Also, we're not going to do the paint until right at the very last minute
Yeah.
because we don't want to. We've got all the dates in and stuff.
Yeah,
to
we're
go
going
to.
to try and film everything before we have to
So
introduce
clean
the paint.
shots first,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then from there.
definitely.
Yeah, good. I'm sorry, I just wanted to ask one more
That's
question
okay.
related to that. Is the performance going to be a part of both of those bits then? So she's good. So is it Mia who's singing or who's?
It's me.
Yeah. So you're going to be lip syncing during the paint throwing sequences. And are you going to be lip syncing during the sort of the romantic meal sequences, or is that
Yeah,
going to
I
be
mean,
purely narrative?
I don't think we've properly
They're going
established.
to come
Yeah.
together, aren't they? It's going to start
Yeah.
off with Beth just being in the restaurant,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the objects with paint are going to be separate. We'll introduce them, and
Yeah.
then we'll have paint on them, and then they sort of join up, don't they? Because as the song gets on, it goes quite angry,
Yeah.
and then that's when they come together, and she gets paint on her,
Yeah, yeah.
and while she's singing. So they're kind of separate to begin with.
Yeah. And there's lots of opportunities for some nice close-up work there, isn't there, as well, I
Yes.
think, of
Yeah.
items
And
and...
like, I mean, we can, with the new system on the Macs, we can really play to some effects because some of it might look better in slow motion with all the paint
Yeah,
being
yeah.
chucked out and
Yeah.
things like that. Or we can even do it if we can work out how, have it in black and white and just have the paint in colour.
Yeah. What
So-
sort of paint are you going to use?
And we have got the ones that primary schools use.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
doesn't-
washable, and it comes off majority of things.
Yeah. And it's not poisonous, which is
It's
another
not
bonus.
poison,
Yes.
which is brilliant.
Go, Harry.
Just coming from the poison point, have you risk assessed the paint using it, throwing at people?
We've done
Uh,
numerous tests on
Have you got
skin.
have you got the paperwork to show me?
Not today. If you would like to, we can have a proper conference with you. I mean, it will last about a good 3 hours, but if you want it done
That'd
properly,
be really nice
we can
because
do
it's
it.
nice to be reassured.
Don't encourage him,
Say-
Bev. Don't encourage him. Right. Anything
Right,
else people want to say? Do we think that sounds like a goer? Is that a good
Yeah.
idea?
Yeah.
I think that's really well thought through. I'll just shut that off.